Ba, 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 ba. Oh, yeah. So satisfying. Oh. You doing all right? Of course you are. You're here on the show. What the fuck? There. All right, here we go. Excuse me.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ.
I got him!
So don't get cocky.
This is about what's going to happen.
Welcome to DeaconLive. DeaconLive.
Welcome, my guys, on today's show. Are you ready for the yarn makeup trend and what happens when men dressed as women play pool? And is TikTok going to be banned again? And the new coffee cup test challenge helps you land a job. All this and much more will be discussed here on Deacon Live. And for the next 60 minutes or so, we'll get you up to date on social news stories and viral videos that you might have missed over the last couple days, or we'll be talking about it here in the upcoming queue. How are you? How are things going? Are you doing all right? Are you getting along with everyone? That's all we care about, is that you're getting along with everyone. I'd like to thank everyone for acknowledging that I was off last week. Yes, we went down to Nashville, down, over, across. We broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a little town called Marshville. And my wife and I decided to take last week off and go to Nashville, Tennessee for our 11th anniversary, wedding anniversary. So we took some time, saw the Music City. Never knew it was called the Music City, but now I do, because that's where it's written all over the place. You can't get around it. But we saw some museums. We went on a bike tour, electric bike tour, which was fun, and saw a bunch of stuff, ate a lot of food, drank a lot of beer, had a grand old time. Now, what's happening? Oh, you know what? I didn't even pull up the articles yet. So give me 1 sec. 1 second. There's 3. All right. So where did I leave off? So someone who's not happy right now is, what was his name? The guy that's, if you haven't seen him take over your TikTok, it's the charter captain. What's his name? Brock Horner. Brock Horner. Got into some, I guess, some shenanigans over the last couple weeks or so ago, where basically these two kids, if you haven't seen the video, we'll have the video and everything up for you here shortly. And don't forget, for every podcast, we do have a matching YouTube channel as well, and you can see this podcast in its entirety over on our YouTube channel. Make sure you give us a subscribe over there. So Brock Horner he's got a little, nice size boat, probably a 32, 36 foot, dual Suzukis or whatever, Yamahas on the back of that. And he's under a bridge. Everyone knows that there's always good fishing up underneath the bridge, especially if you're looking for like reds or drums or something like that. And he's a charter captain, which basically means he has people pay him to go out on his boat. He puts them on the fish and, they throw the line in and he reels them up, and that's how he makes his money. Well, these two kids, I guess in the middle of the night, were fishing under the same bridge that this guy was, and something unfolded. Some kid said something to him, and they got into words, but it was dark, so they really couldn't see each other. And then when daylight broke, he's still out there fishing, and he came across this kid out there fishing, and he's like, you think you're so bad. And he thought it was the same kid. Now, I don't know if it was the same kid or not, but I'm going to switch over to camera 4 and watch this story unfold as we talk about it here on the air. So let's see. This is what actually happened. This is him right here. So I'm going to switch over to camera 4 so you can see this, and we can all be friends. So here he is. He's on his little boat there. He's got all his buddies around him. He's tough when he's got his bros around him. And this is what started the whole ordeal.
Here on the water.
All right, bro.
Every day, I'm the best charter.
He goes, basically, I'm on this water 300 days out of the year. I'm the best charter captain. So here we go.
You'll ever meet in your mother.
All right,
dude. So he pulls up. He pulls up right next to this kid's boat, and they got basically the same size boat, and jumps on his boat.
Chill, bro. Please,
Chill, bro.
Please, okay, please, bro. Please, bro. Please, bro. Bro, I'm a
He's
kid,
on
bro.
his boat.
Please.
Apologize.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
You're gonna cuss me the
All right, bro.
in the middle of the
No, bro. Please, bro. Please,
Get back to my
bro.
boat.
Okay. Please.
Apologize.
I'm sorry.
I'm
bro.
sorry.
That was
Apol-
not me, bro.
Yes, it was.
I was
Yes,
here,
it
but my
was.
buddy was
Take
on the
me
boat.
back to my
I'm a kid, bro. Please, bro.
I don't care. You don't cuss me
Yes,
the
sir.
out.
All
and
right.
talk to me,
Yes, sir.
Jesus
do it.
Christ. So
I'm 300.
that's what started the whole mess. So let's see. There's a little bit more on this story. Let's see if we can dive into a little bit more on this.
Bro, I'm a kid, bro.
I'm a kid. Get off. I'm sorry.
This one's going to piss you off. Video's kind of long, but stick around because we do have his name. The setup is this. This kid, and I do mean kid, not an adult, is fishing. He makes fishing content, so he has like a GoPro or something on him while he's doing that. In an earlier incident, either that morning or another morning, the guy who confronts him drove under the bridge very quickly when it was dark out, and there was one kid who allegedly he almost hit. And the group of people there, several of them, like yelled at him. And now he sees this kid by himself, believing him to be one of those people, and is confronting him for yelling at him.
What, like 5 in the morning?
So this is him with his GoPro.
Nah,
remember me?
That was the dude in that boat.
This-
Were you the one that came through the middle of the bridge? Was that you?
This is way before the argument. He's trying to fish him out, to figure out what if he's got the right guy or not.
Yeah, I was here, but you ran in front of the other dude over there.
You were cussing me out, dude.
Bro, you ran right through the middle of the bridge while we were all fishing.
In the middle of the night, the guy didn't have any lights on.
Bro, we were all fishing here.
Didn't have any lights.
You didn't have any lights on.
Do this with you, bro. I'm not gonna do this with you, bro. Like it's not the right time, bro.
You know the laws?
Bro,
Bro.
you can't come flying through the middle of the bridge, bro.
Yes, I can.
Bullshit.
All right, bro. What are you trying to do, bro?
Yeah. What's the end game
What are
here?
you trying to do, bro?
What's the end game?
You want to
You want to
I
fucking
don't want to go. I want you to get the out of here.
yeah, beat it.
big tough guy?
Big
Tough guy? You pulled up on me.
yeah.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do about
I'm
it?
fishing, you like, bro. Get out of here.
I'm fishing, you fucking moron. You're way over there. You're 50 feet from me, 50 feet to, if not 60 feet away from me, and you're sitting here causing shit. So, to break it, what actually happened, here's what happened. Here's the end result of this whole entire ordeal. So here we go.
Within 5 feet.
What?
Mr. Horner and the victim exchanged words, and then Mr. Horner eventually left the scene.
They exchanged words and left the scene.
April 1st at 7:30 p.m., Mr. Horner sees the victim. He's on his vessel fishing by himself
Uh-huh.
under the Gilcrest Bridge, and he immediately begins a confrontation and yelling and screaming, cursing at our victim, and becoming very aggressive. If you have seen the video, you'll see that the victim tries to disengage. He doesn't want anything to do with the confrontation. He didn't at some point saying, "Please, bro, I don't want anything to do with this." But Mr. Horner continues to be aggressive and eventually pulls up to the victim's vessel, jumps from the helm of his vessel onto our victim's vessel,
Uninvited.
grabbing the victim by his shirt. He continues to be extremely aggressive, yelling at the victim to apologize. At one point, victim starts to fear. He moves away.
I'd be afraid too.
So now they're separated from the other vessel, and he became so afraid for his life, he actually contemplated jumping off his own vessel to get away from Mr. Horner. Once Mr. Horner's tirade was over, he demands that the victim take him back to his own vessel, and
I'd say jump in and swim, bub.
the victim does take him over to his own vessel. So, for the investigation, we have reviewed, Officer Russell here has reviewed all the videos. He's made had a lot of interviews with the victim and our witnesses, and finally determined there was certainly enough evidence to charge Mr. Horner with first-degree felony of burglary.
So they charged him with first-degree felony burglary. So the statute is, I guess, maritime laws are a little bit different than on land. So let's see what happens. The statute is, as she's looking for it,
Florida Statute 810.022A.
Oh.
Entering a conveyance with the intent to commit a crime of assault or battery. That's what he's been charged with. In addition Our investigation, as I said, both Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission and the United States Coast Guard are conducting their separate investigations in reference to incidents that.
And that's the press conference of Mr. Captain Dirtbag, a.k.a. Brock Thomas, Horner, and Gage Towles.
So there you go. He's first degree felony burglary. So I don't know if he stole anything, but he was, I guess, jumping on board someone else's boat is somewhat of a I'm the captain now type deal. Is he I guess he would be considered a pirate now to try to board someone's vessel unannounced or unwelcome. So that's floating around TikTok right now. And I know everyone else, there's the stabbing of the one boy who got stabbed by the other boy because he was sitting underneath the tent. I don't want to dive into that story because everyone can speculate. It was a white guy and a black guy, and one says self-defense, the other one says the other guy threatened him. I'm not going to get into all that. I just know that someone got murdered or killed, and I'm not going to dive into that because it's too muddy right now. But if you have any kind of opinion or anything like that, we'd love to hear from you. And the way you do that, you can be part of the show. You can be podcast famous. Go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET radio.com. At the top of the page says, leave a message for Deacon Live. Be heard. If you got a microphone on your device or whatever you're listening to us on or at, you can speak right into it. You can be anonymous if you want. It comes right to our inbox. We broadcast every Wednesday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So get your messages in now. If you don't get them in quick enough, we'll play it on the very next podcast as well. All right, guys, when we come back, what is that smell in Florida? Don't say it's the old people, because it's making people sick, like nauseous, like bleh. And I'll dive into that story. And Florida's not the only place that this mysterious fog has appeared. And we'll dive in all that when we come back. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Like I said, we'd love to hear from you, and the way you can be part of the show, you can be right here in the studio alongside of us, is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET radio.com. At the top of the page, it says, be heard. You can be anonymous if you want. Just fill that little form out there. I think it says record, listen back, and then send. We do need an email address. That's the only way it can come to us. Don't worry, it's not an email grab or anything like that. We're not going to do anything with it. We got too much shit going on to do anything like that or do any kind of AdSense or cheat with bots or anything like that. So we're just want you to be heard here on the show. Send your message, comes right to your inbox, and we'll play it on the very next podcast. Now, TikTok, President Trump said, hey, TikTok, get your shit together. And for the most part, I think they have. So they say the 9-year-old social media platform TikTok might be banned again if they don't abide or obey Donald Trump's new thing to say, hey, get your shit together in about 75 days. So remember, they banned it back in, not banned it, they just kind of shut it down for about, what was it, less than 24 hours, like 14 hours or something like that. And everyone fucking panicked. Ah! I was having a conversation with someone the other day. We were driving like early in the morning, and it was my dad. And my dad said, look at all these kids waiting for the bus. And every single one of them's got their head down in their phone. He goes, if we just took their phones away, they would, what would happen if you took their phones away? They'd probably freak out. I said, freak out? They took one app away for less than 24 hours, and people freak out. You want to take the whole phone away? He's like, yeah, it's pretty true. But right now, to say that the 9-year-old social media platform TikTok is popular would be an understatement. According to Linko.com, there are 170 million people who use TikTok in America. Globally, the platform has over 1.12 billion monthly active users. That's big time popularity if you ask me, but TikTok has hit a few snags recently. You may recall the recent one. There has been a serious move afoot to ban it here because some of the people worried that China was using it to gather information from their citizens. I honestly think it's just a bunch of crap. You know how much stuff we get that we physically, unknowingly and unknowingly do give our information out? And you're worried about China with TikTok? No. And what kind of information are they getting? That you're watching these videos? I would think yes. If I want something to cater to me as far as what my preference are, as far as videos, or when I walk into a store, I know what my preferences are, and if you put everything right in the first couple rows, I'm going to shop and buy there every time. I don't have time to go out and learn new things unless someone wants to put that in front of me as well. Actually, there is a very real threat right now that TikTok is going to wane a law that was signed to ban the app due to concerns about Chinese intrusiveness in America's lives that was done during the Biden administration. That drew an angry, frustrated outcry from all of its fans. TikTok did go down briefly for a few hours when the previous president administration transitioned to the current Trump administration. Now, we don't look now, TikTokers, the final day of President Trump 75-day executive order extension for the parent company is coming up here shortly. ByteDance will have to find an American investor to risk the app shutting down. That deadline is just days away now, with a workable solution to be found in time. So they're saying, hey, ByteDance, I think there was an offer on the table for let's go back to me now. For what was it? Amazon to buy it? And you say you're worried about Chinese people or the Chinese government, not Chinese people themselves, but you're worried about Chinese government getting more information from us U.S. citizens through TikTok, and then you're going to let maybe Amazon buy it? Are you fucking nuts? That's like going right back from one lion's den into a larger lion's den, because how many active people use Amazon on the daily basis? It's going to be one big commercial for Amazon if Amazon buys it. No, it's an American company. It's good. We don't mind Bezos, getting a little bit more money and him shooting space rockets in the air. Has he really done as much as Elon? Not that, I know there's a lot of non-Elon fans out there. They're called Nelons. No Elon. But as far as Bezos, I don't want to say he's done a whole lot with his money. Now, he's done a lot with his money, but not on the level like Elon has. I saw a video the other day where liberals were going, 6, 8, 10 years ago, they were like, and you have to buy a Tesla. And then now, okay, you're killing the planet. And then now they're all like going, you can't have Tesla because that's capitalism and Elon's destroying everything. You can't have both ways there, dummy. So figure that out. Figure out, what am I supposed to do? Just make it simple, make it to where I can understand it, and then I'll do it, or I won't do it. But right now, over in my hometown, or my home state, actually, there's a new mystery that's making headlines. A weird smelling fog has been recorded across the country, particularly in Florida. Of course, Florida is no stranger to strange happenings. For instance, a 2022 fossil hunter accidentally discovered a 500,000-year-old mass grave in a sinkhole. 500,000-year-old mass grave? Wow. However, this strange fog that's been happening is more bizarre, and it's stumbling upon a prehistoric grave. Residents across the United States seems generally concerned about this mysterious fog chemical with an odor smell, which has been reportedly making people sick. Here's what people are experiencing and possibly scientific explanation for why this weird smelling fog has happened. Many people have reported seeing the mysterious weird smelling fog in their neighborhoods. The strange phenomenon can be even more publicized in Florida, with residents sharing a slew of social media videos. Hold on, dude. I'm going to get to you. Everyone wants to jump on the air right away. In November 2024, TikToker user David_Bammer from St. Petersburg, Florida, documented his experience with the fog. He noted that this lingering longer than usual has a very distinct chemical odor. So let's see. David Bammer, B-A-M-B-E-R. So I'm going to switch over to camera 4 so we can hear what he has to say. First, we're going to take him off mute and see what he says. Here we go.
It's foggy right now.
It's foggy.
That's not the weird part. Okay. Like, number one, it's weird because as it gets later in the day, fog should lighten, dissipate.
Burn off.
It's really not. But the weirdest part is the taste and smell. It smells like after you set off a bunch of fireworks,
like sulfur,
and like the taste of the air is, I mean, the only word I can think of is toxic. It's super weird, and so I'm going for my walk, and it's kind of worrying me a little bit. Let me know if you guys are experiencing something like that. That's weird. Yeah, I mean, it smells not right. And
it's not right. It's not right, he says. Let's see. There's even more unsettling views from all over the world has similar experiences. Another TikToker with SPF Photographic Florida filmed the fog at night using a strong flashlight, and the footage revealed floating particles that are disturbing many viewers. So, again, I'm going to switch over to camera 4. Don't forget, for every podcast we do, you can see the full-length podcast and all the visual elements that we have during the show over on YouTube. So check that out over there as well. Just search DeaconLive Podcast, and you can see it in real time as we're talking about it here. So here we go. This person's got a whole bunch of, he's got one of those high-powered flashlights and shining it through the fog. And let's see. Play. Here we go. This is 6:30 a.m. Christmas Eve. No, not Christmas Eve. New Year's Eve. Yeah, it looks like it's like particles. Like, have you ever seen like a light misty rain and you're breathing that in? I've got the black lung pop. Yeah, and it almost looks like like floating ash, but you would smell ashes, right? Or smell like, have a burning sensation, not a burning sensation, but a burning smell. Yep, dog bark in the background. It just, that's creepy. That's very creepy. So if you know what it is, they're calling it fogvid. Fogvid. Instead of COVID, it's Fogvid 24. So if you have if you've experienced that, you can share that with us in the way you can share anything, photos, pictures, videos, or anything like that over on, you can email me at deacon@prophetradio.com, or you can leave us a message. Go over to prophetradio.com, be heard, and be on the show. When we come back, there is a trend out there that it's scaring people to death. And I say to death, and I use that term very loosely. It's you ever seen people do makeup and stuff, and then they do the crazy makeup where they make themselves look like cosplay and just the special effects. This one's called yarn. It's a yarn makeup trend, and we'll dive into what that actually is. It's kind of scary. It looks like Sackman. If you ever play PlayStation, it looks like Sackman. So we'll dive into that when we come back. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us over on Facebook. Yes, the ban has been lifted. I have activated the Deacon Live podcast Facebook page. Unfortunately, I think right now I have like 2 people over there. We just got it fired up, so there's not a whole lot of content over there. But get in now. Get on the ground floor. Go over to Deacon Live over on Facebook and give us a little thumbs up over there. And believe me, as the days and months and years roll on, you will be saying, I was there first when it happened. So give us a little like and subscribe over there. We appreciate that. That's Deacon Live over on Facebook. Now, with everyone on the planet says we kind of got loosey-goosey with the whole trans thing, and I think the LGBT community actually dropped off the T because when I think Trump passed the ordinance saying, hey, trans people are, boy or girl type deal. So I think they dropped the T off that. I could be wrong on that, but I'm not a politician. I don't get into all that stuff. But then they started saying, well, I'm pansexual. I'm unilaterally bisexual, non-binary, something like that. I don't know. I've lost track. I just know I stay in my lane. If you want to go over there and do what you want over there, as long as it doesn't affect me and my lifestyle, I don't care. As long as you're not influencing, but as long as you're not bothering anyone or causing anyone else any damage or harm, do what the fuck you want to do. Like this girl right here. And I say girl, she is horse girl with 2 eyes, is a half human and half horse, and all musician. How she went from the farm to Coachella. This German musician, DJ, opened up to People magazine about her fantastical backstory and what it's like working in the music industry after years in the animal kingdom. So I'm going to switch over to camera 4. Yep, there she is. She's got the body of a woman, and why the long face? She literally has ears on top of her head, horse ears. She's got long, dirty blonde hair, and her eyes are like doughy Bambi, and where her mouth and nose is a horse muzzle. The horse girl, the person who goes by horse girl, says she's half horse and half human. She's gearing up to perform at Coachella later this month. If you're doing something that's new, that's different, you are always going to be polarized, she says. She tells People magazine. So let's see. You've never met an artist quite like Horse Girl, the German musician. Of course, we do it different over here. The German musician and DJ who goes by the name Stella Stallion identifies her as half horse and half human, both on and off stage. Since hitting the scene in 2022, COVID got her. She got the jab made her this way. She's taken to electro dance. She's taken the electro dance world by storm with songs like My Bam, My Rules, BAM, My Bam, My Rules, and Material Horse with a $sign. Of course, why not? If you're confused, that's understandable. Having not revealed her true identity to date, Horse Girl consistently remains in character and physically presents as a horse. I'm going to switch back to me now. Oh, wait, go here. Oh, she consistently remains in character and physically presents as a horse, complete with a muzzle, pointed ears peeking out of her hair, and the signature heart-shaped white spot on her in between her eyes, which would represent like a horse blaze, but hers is a heart. Aww. The rising star, whose debut EP, VIP, Very Important Pony, oh Christ, she's leaning on this, is out right now. Has gamered a cult, a fan base of over 560,000 monthly Spotify listeners, and perform at iconic locations like Berlin's Bergna nightclub and Electric Daisy Carnival in Las Vegas. This month, she will perform at Coachella in Indio, California. Ahead of her performance at the festival, Horse Girl sat down with People magazine on Zoom to discuss her fantastical backstory, misconceptions about her artistry, thoughts on the Chapel Roan's Pink Pony Club, and more. And then there's a whole article there. I'm not going to read it all to you. Can you tell me a little about your upbringing in the early introduction to music? She says, no, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but here's a video. Let's see how good her song is. This is Take It Off with 4 F's at the end of it. Is it Take It Off or Take It Of? I'm a simple man. I just need answers to simple questions. Okay, we got a little commercial here. Centaurs, she says you're half human, half horse, but not exactly the same kind that you've seen in media. What separates you from a centaur? Centaur, she says, hold on. No, everyone. She says that from centaurs, from what I understand, I'm not a biologist. Why can I not say that? Biologist. But I've heard they're usually not even full horse human, but a horse wizard, magical being, where I am just a boring old human horse. All right, there you go. Boring old human horse. And skip. So here we go. Here's her song. I'm going to get flagged for this. I know it. I'll switch to camera 4 so you can see this. There she is. All right. She's like in a ballet studio. Dressed up like a horse. Here's a breakdown. Take it off. Oh, it's off, not of. All right. We're going to get flagged here on YouTube for that. So there you go. Hold on, I know you're next. So if you've heard of her, if you're part of the 560,000 people that have monthly subscribed to her, good for you. Give the animals a chance. I'm sure PETA would be happy to have her as a spokesperson for them. Now, this trend right now, you've seen people that that do makeup videos and what's the routine, and they put on makeup, and sometimes people do costume makeup and they do like crazy, like it's a plain old Jane looking girl, and all of a sudden she's like got this big wide, scary, afro, circus, afro, and then they change into whatever, and it's fucking crazy. This video right here, this new trend that's happening right now is called the yarn trend. And when I say yarn, like sewing yarn or knitting yarn, I'm not being dramatic, but I am totally traumatized. This yarn makeup trend is a pure full of nightmare fuel. Lots of makeup trends traverse the For You page on TikTok, but one of them has proven the least strangest, if not the creepiest. It's the yarn makeup trend, yarn face or yarn doll trend. The facial aesthetics where the creators glue coils and coils of yarn on their face and then apply makeup over the top of the yarn. I know. You're like going, why? Your skin is so beautiful. Why would you do this? The effect is a soft doll-like vision that is both compelling and haunting at the same time. Now I'm gonna switch over to camera 4 again, and they look like dolls. Like if someone was to stitch or handcraft a doll, like I said, Sackman from the PlayStation Network. It looks like that. And what they do is they start at their nose, and let me switch to me to see if I can do it. And they start around their nose, and then they make it wider and wider, and then they go around their eyes, and then they cut their eyes out, and not their eyes out, but around their eyes. And they create this weird, it's like a car wreck. I can't stop looking at it. According to the New York Post, the trend was invented by a 19-year-old makeup artist, Anna Murphy, with 4 Ys at the end of it, on March 14th, 2025. So this is brand new. Murphy posted a video on her TikTok where she showed her face covered in a coil string while painting makeup on top of it. Murphy was rubbing her face, showcasing the string texture and the power adhesive, keeping the string configuration intact to her skin. Overall, the video creates an eerie, distorted facial effect for the camera. The glue is working too well to get it off. Murphy captions in the TikTok. So I'm going to switch over to camera 4 again, and you can see this is the actual stuff, the trend that she's doing, and Anna Murphy with 16 Ys at the end of her name. So here we go. Oh, it's got a video there. Or a song. Oh, it's so weird. It's stuck to her face. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. The video quickly went viral, gaining 5.8 million views and over 51,000 comments, illustrating the strange and confusing appreciation for Murphy's makeup concept. Weird. I like it, one read. The other one says, that makes me feel uncomfortable. Another one read, well, it makes me feel uncomfortable too. So I'm right along with you on that one. But my wife used to watch this one show. I forget what it's called. And they would do, like, make your face look like a bowling ball. And then they had this one guy who had bald head. He was a bald head, and he had like one of those Dastardly Danger mustache, handlebar that curls up and stuff. And they would do these crazy concepts, this makeup concept. This is no different. It's just that they're using fucking yarn. And is it going to be good for your pores later on with all that glue and stuff? I don't know. I never saw the end result as far as her ripping off. But there you go, yarn trend. So if you see it out there, don't freak out. And when we come back, this lady right here freaked out because this woman was sitting on a bench in a park. But it's the special reason why she got mad at the lady sitting on the bench in the park, because obviously it didn't belong to her. And we'll find out her story when we come back. So stick around. You'll listen to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want something for free? Of course you do, but we'd love to give it to you. We'd love to give it to you for free. But what you got to do to get it is go over to prophetradio.com, PROPHET radio.com. At the top of the page says free swag. You'll see a little drop-down menu. You can see all the fine programming that comes out of this studio. Pick yourself something out, and we'll ship it to you here in the United States. If you're overseas, I think we're pretty much banned from sending anything overseas right now. Until we figure that out, you might have to wait. But I'll send you a JPEG or something, and you can download it and print it out wherever you want. Just tell us what you want. You can also email me at any time at deacon@prophetradio.com. It's all found there on the Prophet Radio website. Now, there's some sports out there that I agree, or I believe it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman playing this thing. I don't know why in some sports they have, oh, this is the women's league and this is the men's league. Here's a prime example. You can debate me all day long, but I'm going to say it's basic physics and skill. Bowling. Bowling, no matter what, should be ambidextrous sport. Well, not ambidextrous, but it should be unisexual sport. That sounds kind of weird. It sounds like we're on a swinger party. Male or female, it should not matter. I've seen men throw the ball as hard as you can and still pins are left standing. I've seen men take the slow approach and do the nicest, slowest curve ball, and it just rolls right down there, and it, because of its location and the force and the physics of what it knocks all the pins down. So no matter if you're a man or a woman, male or female, I think bowling should be an intergender sport. But for whatever reason, we separate female and male. That's one thing. Poker, it's not a sport, but it is a competition. I think poker, playing cards, I think for the most part, they have integrated men and females, male and females in poker, but there are the male number one ranked and female number one ranked. I don't think that should happen, but it does. Here's another sport that I'm going to talk about right now because it's getting a lot of controversy. Why? I don't know, but over in UK, there is, let's see what this is. 2 biological men are competing in the UK women's pool championship. So what? That's another sport competition event where it doesn't matter if you're a male or female. Why? Why does it matter? Again, it's kind of, that's why I started with the whole bowling thing. The pool is basically angles, and, you know, I don't think there's any advantage of having a big muscle guy out there. It's all mental. It's all about the shapes and physics and all that stuff. So here's what the whole issue is. I'm going to switch over to camera 4, and we can see this in real time as we're talking about it here. 2 biological men compete for the UK Women's Pool Championship.
Women's Pool Championship featured 0 women. The final matchup was between 2 men, Harriet Haynes and Lucy Smith. Both biological men who identify as women defeated 14 female opponents to get to the final round. The pool league rules allow trans athletes to compete in sports with no restrictions.
Think about what we're saying. 2 biological men competing in a women's championship. That is peak level crazy. This is what wokeism is. When the rules just change all of a sudden because we all have to bow to the woke gods. Well, the American people aren't bowing. The American people are saying to the tune of 80%, enough of this.
So, okay, I got you. Thanks, Fox News. You could tell where that came from. So, it's 2 men, and that's the thing. The 2 men, you know, they had 16 people, 16 bodies, 14 females, and 2 transgender, or whatever they're called now, dressed as women. And ironically enough, the 2 men, I'm going to just call them men, just to make it easier. The 2 men beat all 14 women, and then they had to go head-to-head against themselves. So they're kind of defeating their own purpose, or they're showing that having men in women's sports is not right. You know, are you with me? Are you following me on this? But in pool, I don't understand why it matters if you're male or female. No, I'm not saying transgender. I don't understand why it's just not one big pool tournament. You know, everyone plays pool, you get what you got, and so on. Why we have to separate between female pool players and male pool players, I don't understand. Because, like I said, it's based on physics and stuff. So these 2 men dressed as women identify as women were playing pool, and they ended up going all the way to the finals. I don't know who won, Bridget or Becky. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who won that. But anyways, they're dealing with it over there in the UK as well, not here in the United States for the most part. Now, over here, fly back over here, only in Florida, right? A woman freaks out over a park bench that she donated in her sister's name. You ever seen on park benches, you know, hey, this bench is donated in remembrance of, whoever the person was. This woman was sitting here on the bench in Florida, minding her own fucking business, eating lunch, drinking water, and her son was around playing or something like that. So, of course, when you have a child, let's say under the age of 5, you got to bring them snacks. They need something like that. The woman freaks out because the snacks were on her dead sister's bench. So I'm going to switch back over to camera 4 here. Don't forget, for a podcast, we do have a matching video over on YouTube, and you can see this in real time as we're talking about it here on the show. So here we go. This woman freaks out. Listen to what she says. Here we go.
Donated because of my late sister passed away.
Oh my God.
So my son just set it there, and he walked to the bathroom, and he'll be back soon, and we'll pick it up.
So I guess the son ran to the bathroom and put like a bag of, what are they, goldfish on the ground while he ran. Mommy, I'll be right back. Okay, Junior, go ahead. I'm going to put this on the ground. Okay, I'll be right back, Mommy. Okay, don't get lost. So let's start it over. Here we go. Here we go.
The bench I donated because of my late sister passed away.
Okay, so my son just set it there, and he walked to the bathroom, and he'll be back soon, and we'll pick it up.
I'm asking if it can
Okay,
be
but now
moved.
you're attacking me because it's just sitting there, and my
I'm
son will bring
asking you
it.
to be respectful.
Okay, well, you're
Can
not
you-
being
can you
respectful
come
to ask.
around?
Absolutely not. No.
So there's these two white ladies, Karens, attacking this woman. You can't see the woman what she is. I don't know if she's black, if she's white, or whatever. Sitting on the bench. She's got a little water bottle sitting on the bench next to her that's in frame. And the woman who's like, this is my dead sister's bench. And the women are probably in their early 50s, if not late 40s, trying to hang on to life. I think she picks up the bag of whatever that the son left. So hold on, here we go.
She was. Come and look at the plaque.
Look at it, plaque.
And you said no.
Yeah, because my son just set it down, and he's going to come right back and pick it up. It's really not that big of a deal.
I don't want trash next to my
Trash. I don't want trash. This is my fucking bench.
At me.
Fuck you.
This woman, her sister, so she paid for this bench.
So this is another angle. I guess they're sitting on the bench, and I don't know who's filming it. Maybe it's the lady who was freaking out.
Because she had a very difficult life. Just stop talking for 1 minute. So I
Oh, she could be white. She could be Spanish. I mean, it's Florida. Very, very olive skin and stuff. It's kind of far away, so you can't really see. And I guess the one who freaked out. This is my sister's bench, and she was a mish. And we made this bench. Do you see the plaque? No, it's on the fucking side. I'm sitting on top of the bench. I'm not looking at the fucking plaque. So I guess the other lady's filming. Let's see what happens here.
very difficult life. Just stop talking for 1 minute so I can tell your children.
They don't need to know. I just did it.
Okay, so that was it. Can we just get along, people? Hey, be respectful. I understand. Hey, this is you know what I would have done? This is what I would have done. If that was I don't have a sister. I'm an only kid. Can you tell? If I had a plaque there and that was my bench, for whatever family member or whatever I did, I donated that bench. And I would go up to the lady and say, hey, just to let you know, I'll give you a little history on this bench. This bench right here, the city allows people to donate money and have a plaque and stuff. The bench that you're sitting on, my daughter or sister or whatever it was, passed away. She passed away for cancer, leukemia, something like a car accident. I don't know. She's gone. Just to let you know. So if just to give you an idea, the remembrance of this bench. So I just want you to know when you're sitting on it, have some respect. Just in general, ponder life, think about, what could and could not be and stuff. And, don't, pick up before you leave. That's all I ask. Right? What's the difference between that and the people that sponsor roadways or highways or strips of land? They don't stand on the side of the road. This is my dead grandmother's strip, this quarter mile here. This is her strip. Stop throwing your coffee cans outside. Coffee cans? Your coffee cups. And stop throwing your Bojangles wrappers on the side of the road. This is my great grandmother's. This is the strip I got to walk. No, it's the same thing. if that's the bench, you go over there and sweep it and kind of clean it up a little bit and just let people know, hey, this is remembrance of my sister. Have a little bit more respect. You don't have to get all in their face and cause a third world occupation takeover. We'll look that one up. All right, when we come back, do you have an air fryer? I do. This guy has an air fryer, and he found a hidden thing on the air fryer after 3 years of owning it. Does yours have this thing? What it is, I'll let you know when we come back. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, you can be part of the show. You can be right here alongside of us here in the studio. Just go over to prophetradio.com. We broadcast every Wednesday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a little town called Marshville. Your voice can be heard right alongside of us if you want to comment or leave a suggestion on anything that we've talked about over the last 11 years. This month, 11 years of doing this show. You can do that. Just leave me a little watermark on what show you're listening to and about, whatever, and I'll go back and listen to it if you have a question about any of that or a correction. God knows I've made a lot of mistakes over the last 11 years. Not many, but I have made some. And you can correct me on those by going over to prophetradio.com. At the top of the page says, be heard. Your voice comes right to the inbox, and we'll play it on the very next podcast as well. And you can be anonymous as well. They do need an email just to make sure that you're not a robot. And we don't do anything with your email. It's just a way of getting it over to us. Now, Disney World for many years. Now, I was born and raised in Orlando, Florida, and one of the scariest things to get a job over at Disney. Now, Disney, if you don't know, is one of the largest employers in Central Florida. Well, of course, it's a very large industry now. Universal's up there right now. I used to work for Universal for a while. I was part of the pyrotechnics team, which was fun. Blew shit up every night. I was part of the stage lighting and sound crew for a while for a couple shows. And then, of course, you get bored with that and you move on to something else. But Disney World used to have this whole half glass of water, and they'd have a glass of water on the table, and they would ask you, is that glass half full or half empty? Now, this is back in the early days of Disney World, but I think before Epcot or before any of the other parks that they've added onto it. And if you said the glass was half full, you were optimistic. If you said the glass was half empty, that you were pessimistic. So that's like one of the key things that they used to ask you during the interrogation, the interview that you used to have. Just to give you so they would have an insight on your brain and stuff. There's also a salt and pepper one that's out there. I don't understand what that one is. But right now, bosses use a boss uses a recruiter-approved coffee cup test in every interview, and he won't hire anyone who fails it. So let's dive into what the coffee cup test is. Now, there's a coffee cup test to add to job seekers' list of hoops that they need to jump through in order to land a job in today's tough market. The trick is described by an Australian boss, Trent Innes, who is a former managing director of an accounting platform, Zeno, and now works as a chief growth officer at SiteMinder. All right. I guess all those are very cool things to do. Speaking to the business podcast, The Ventures, Innes said he always takes a prospective employee for a walk to the kitchen for a beverage. All right. We'll start there. Although he calls it the coffee cup test, it's not about whether you take your coffee black or with sugar, or even forgo the coffee for water or tea, and still pass the test. So you can have any of that stuff and still pass. It's what you do with the cup afterwards he's keeping an eye on. So he says, then we take a walk back, we have our interview, and one of the things I'm always looking for at the end of the interview is, does the person doing the interview want to take that empty cup back to the kitchen? Unfortunately, those who have the right skills for the job but leave their dirty mug at the scene of the interview probably won't hear back from the hiring managers. Inez thinks that it's a red flag that they're not right culture fit for the company. You can develop skills, you can gain knowledge and experience, but it really does come down to attitude. And the attitude that we talk about is a concept of wash your coffee cup, the boss added. Taking your used cup, mug, or glass back to the kitchen highlights that you're a team player, considerate, and care about the little things or the small things. That's not what you know or even who you know. Countless CEOs have highlighted that success hinges on attitude. Like Andy Jass has said that an embarrassing amount of how well you do, particularly in your 20s, depends on it. I think that people would be surprised how infrequent people have great attitudes. I think that people would be surprised how infrequently people have a great attitude. I think that makes a difference. Likewise, CEOs of Pret and Kurt Geiger have both stressed about being nice to their boss and coworkers, one of the biggest determination factors of their success. You cannot teach positive attitude or engagement and energy. So recruiters say that the test actually works. If you want to test for attitude over amplitude or aptitude, you'd be happy to learn from the coffee cup test actually works. We have found that this little behavioral observation can tell so much about a person that you'll never catch in the formal Q&A. So much of the hiring is about a culture and fit. I think it is an important part of assessing whether someone would suit your organization. So what he's saying is, for the most part, he goes, "Hey, look, here, would you like a coffee? You know, and you have a coffee in his kitchen. I guess he's conducting this at his own house, maybe the restaurant or something like that. And then when you're done with everything, if you're having lunch or whatever, as long as there's not a waiter or waitress or something like that taking care of you, you kind of gather up your stuff and pick up your stuff, and you're like, hey, throw your stuff away, return your tray. Where would you like me to put this cup? Type deal. Now, one thing that I've learned in job interviews is when you walk into, let's say, sometimes they always have like an empty boardroom or something like that. You're like, come in here where we can have some privacy and stuff. Come in here and we'll do the interview in here. I always wait for the person to sit down or offer me a seat. I would always do that because that's kind of like I don't want to walk in here and assume that I'm going to sit down. Or I will say something. Do you mind if I sit here? If I walk into an office, if the person is already sitting behind the desk and he's got like the chair in front of him like you see in the TV shows and stuff, do you mind if I sit here? No, go right ahead. You're being polite right off the start. And 9 times out of 10, that usually lands you a job. Hey, may I sit here? Do you mind if I sit here? You ask before you approach into someone's office. So keep that in mind. It's the little things, not necessarily you could be the smartest guy in the world. You could be the most qualified for the job. But those social clues, if you have like Asperger's or something like that, and you don't get those clues, just ask the little things, pick up after yourself, remove anything that you brought in, leave fingerprints and memories. Don't leave any garbage behind type deal. Now, I have an air fryer. I have don't laugh at me. My wife likes it. It's the Pioneer Woman air fryer. And the only difference between the Pioneer Woman's air fryer and all the other air fryers out there is that it's got the Pioneer Woman's pattern on it. That's it. It's still the same air fryer. It's kind of fancy to have it sitting up on the counter. A lot of people come over and they go, is that an air fryer? Yeah. Oh, it's so beautiful. And if you don't know what the Pioneer Woman's pattern over at Walmart is, you need to get out a little bit more. But right now, people have air fryers from all different companies. Ninja Foodie makes one. The air fryer company responds after people discovered the secret feature that's been hiding in plain sight the whole entire time that people have had their Ninja air fryer. The popular air fryer company has responded after owners discovered the secret feature has been hiding in plain sight the whole entire time. In a recent TikTok video gone viral, of course, social media user Bowles Y5 revealed a hidden compartment of the cult kitchen gadget, which has surprised hundreds of Brits. During the clip, she opens up this opens up a discrete compartment on the left-hand side near the Ninja Foodie Max and pulled it out, and a small meat prong was there. Did you know? She captions in the video. Judging by the huge number of likes and shares, the answer is a firm no. In a small surprise turn of events, Ninja responds to the discussion as a brand wrote, "Obviously, a lot of you don't read the manuals, do you?" "I'm British," one TikToker replied. While another admitted, I don't read them unless I mess up something. We only need to read them. We only need to read them when we really, really need to read them, is what other person say. So let's see. Here's the video. Hold on, dear. I'll get you. And don't forget, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video. You can see the full-length podcast over on our YouTube channel. It's the podcast in its whole entirety over there as well. So give us a like and subscribe over there. We don't do it for any kind of money or clicks or likes or anything. We just give you another media source for you to enjoy the podcast, which is DeaconLive. So here we go. Switch over to camera 4, and we can see the hidden thing that's on the Ninja Foodie Max air fryer. So here we go. There it is. It was just hidden right there on the side. Boop. So what it is, I'll play it one more time. You pull it out. It's a meat thermometer. Look at this. It's on the side. Now, when I say meat thermometer, it plugs into, it looks like it has two parts. It looks like one part plugs into the actual side of the air fryer, and the other part goes into the meat. So there must be some kind of digital reading or something like that. But yeah, it's just on the side of the Ninja Foodie. And the Ninja Foodie one, the Max, has like the double drawers, the 2 buckets or whatever you're watching me here in the video. I look like I'm jerking off someone. But it's got the 2 handles where one side's one side, one side's another thing. And yeah, there's a meat thermometer on the side of that thing. Go figure. So everything's been hiding in plain sight. So check out your air fryer right now. All right, guys, if you've enjoyed the show, make sure you follow us over on TikTok. That's Be Podcast Famous over on TikTok. You see all the different podcasts that comes out of the studio. We'd love for you to give us a little thumbs up over there, a little subscribe, a little follow as well. Don't forget, you can email me at any time at deacon@profitradio.com. You can also be heard. Go to profitradio.com and get yourself something for free over there as well. And make sure you follow us on our new Facebook page. That's Deacon Live Podcast over on Facebook. Give us a little follow, subscribe over there as well. All right, guys, on that note, I'm going to let you get back to doing what you got to do. My name is the Deacon, saying goodnight and goodnight.
This is the end. The absolute end.
Écoute-moi.
Iced coffee. Got me through that one. I'm liking it. I'm liking the iced coffee. And then, of course, these guys to slow everything down. All right, guys, take care. Good night.